High school football in St. Johns County has reached the postseason. I'm Justin Barney with the St. Augustine Record, and we are finally in the games where it's single elimination and two teams alive. Before we go to that, we'll recap the final week of the regular season real quick. Providence 17, Ponte Vedra 6. Sharks still finished with a 6-4 record. That's the first time they've been above 500 in program history. St. Joseph 36, Maynard Christian 26. The Flashes get to 5-5 in their season at 500 as well. Nice 34, Lee 16. The Panthers beat the Generals in the season finale for the second straight year. Nice not going to the playoffs. They finished 4-6. Creekside 34, Menendez 31 in overtime. The Knights come up with probably their biggest win of the season. They stuffed Menendez on a fourth down run. That would have won the game for the Menendez Falcons had they gotten over the goal line. But nonetheless, Creekside settles for a field goal in overtime, uses defense, stops Menendez. Both those teams finished with 3-7 records. It was a nice finish for the Knights. Very disappointing finish for the Falcons in a season that had really quite expectations like no other. No playoffs for Menendez, no playoffs for the Falcons, but something to build on next year for the Knights. Finally, St. Augustine 55, Ridgeview 10. Game was all St. Augustine. Jackets clinch their third straight 10-0 season and enter the playoffs tonight, and that's what we want to talk about. St. Augustine hosting Bartram Trail. Bartram was off last week, and these teams have met once this season already. St. Augustine won 27-10 in week 2. Just an unbelievable finish there for St. Augustine. They were down 10-0 in the fourth quarter and 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to beat Bartram. So really that game seems like a season away entering tonight's game. A lot of things have happened since then. St. Augustine's really ratcheted up its offense, and its defense has been solid the whole season. But its offense has really clicked. Only really one stumbling block for the Yellow Jackets. That was a 10-0 win over Nice when its offense was not getting things done. They had to settle for one field goal, and then an interception return was the only touchdown of the games for the Jackets. So St. Augustine, if it has a question mark, can this offense stay on pace that it's been lately? And that's, defense has not been letting down at all this season. So if there's one question for St. Augustine, you've got to just say keep that pressure on the gas pedal for the offense. Jackets have had a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback Kyle West has missed the last 2 weeks with a knee injury. He's going tonight. Kicker Mark Sturgis off a 4 field goal game against Palatka in week 10. He missed last week's game with a strained groin, but he is going to be back tonight. So St. Augustine really hoping to put things together with a full lineup tonight. And they've beaten Bartram Trail 11 times that they played. So Bartram's key to victory tonight, really to key to victory anytime, has been throwing the ball. The running game has not gotten on track this season for Bartram. Running back Gabe Johnson's been injured, had a bad ankle injury that's kind of nagged him throughout the whole season. And Bartram just not getting things done, running the ball. They've been the most effective and the most potent when Nathan Peterman, the quarterback, junior quarterback, has been throwing to big targets at receiver, Bobby Walker and Jared Crump. And Bartram can outscore some teams. They put up big numbers in losses this season to Orange Park and Clay. They've eclipsed 30 points in each of those games. Peterman, a couple of 300-yard passing games in those losses. So they can really throw the ball, and that's probably going to be their key to success if they want to beat St. Augustine, something that they've never done. And believe me, they know that history just as well as St. Augustine does. And we'll see what happens tonight after the first round of playoffs. The winner of this game will face the winner of the Palatka and Clay game a week from tonight. I'm Justin Barney, and we'll come back to you next week with a recap of the first round of the playoffs and talk about week 2.